Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Please take a seat. We're going to spend a little time now recognizing some of the people who COL has had the privilege and pleasure to work with. As part of PCF every year, we recognize distinguished excellence in the field through our award of COL Honorary Fellowships, and this PCF is no exception. So, as I said, our honorary fellowships recognize contribution, excellent contribution in distance education, and we award them. At each Pan-Commonwealth Forum, and they're awarded to citizens of Commonwealth countries. And they recognize a breadth of experience. They can be for leadership, for mentorship, for contribution to particular subject areas, but all within that mission of education for sustainable development. For various reasons this year, we have 5 COL Fellows that we're going to recognize, and for various reasons, we don't have every single one of them with us. But I hope you will still take the time to honor the people that we are honoring here today. What we will do for each individual is invite a member of staff from COL to come to the stage to read a citation that will give you a sense of these individuals' achievements and accomplishments and how impressive they are. And then we will pause for a photograph, because for those who aren't here, having a photograph is incredibly important. We have a lovely presentation binder, which we will be taking a photograph with the President. And then we will move on to the next one. So bear with us as we move through this, and please do listen and appreciate and applaud our COL Honorary Fellows this year. Okay, and with no further ado, our first award of Honorary Fellowship goes to Dr. Evelyn Nonyongo from South Africa. And I'd like to invite Ms. Frances Ferreira to come up to the stage and read the citation and accept the award. Thank you.
Dr. Evelyn Nonyongo began her career as a secondary school teacher in Soweto, South Africa in 1971. Witnessing apartheid education's deep inequalities firsthand, she dedicated her life to transforming education into a force for justice and empowerment. Her unwavering commitment shaped policies, institutions, and systems across Southern Africa, ensuring lasting access and equity. During and after apartheid, her leadership in open and distance learning positioned it not merely as a delivery mode, but as a vital lifeline to those historically denied access to knowledge, dignity, and opportunity. For nearly 5 decades, she has been an ODL pioneer in Southern Africa. As a key figure at the South African Committee of Higher Education, in short SACET, from 1973, she championed higher education access for Black students, helping them meet university entrance requirements. Working with SACET, who was closely aligned with the banned African National Congress and central to educational struggles against apartheid, came at personal cost. She and her colleagues faced banning orders with severe restrictions on their freedom. One of her most significant contributions was developing the Distance University Student Support Program, DASPRO, providing critical academic support to Black University of South Africa, UNISA students. Without this lifeline, many faced insurmountable barriers. Through DASPRO, countless students achieved university qualifications previously reserved for white South Africans. Despite these challenges, she was a founding member of the Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland Correspondence Committee, forerunner of the Distance Education Association of South Africa, DIHASA. She has remained one of the most committed advocates for regional cooperation and institutional strengthening in distance education. As a leading DIHASA member, she initiated and led the development of UNISA's Certificate for Practitioners of Distance Education, CPDE, one of the world's first formal qualifications for distance educators. Developed with the Commonwealth of Learning support, she insisted the CPDE be open to South African distance education practitioners regardless of prior qualifications. Hundreds of educators have benefited, and fittingly, Dr. Nonyongo's PhD evaluated the CPDE's impact and effectiveness. In her later years, she worked tirelessly to develop a B.Ed, BA qualification in ODL through UNISA and the Diploma in Youth Development with the Commonwealth Youth Program. Before retirement, she initiated a joint Southern African Masters of Arts in Distance Education with universities in Namibia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and UNISA, though had to relinquish this vision as retirement approached. Even after retirement, she continued leading ODL development across the region and contributed significantly to the Commonwealth of Learning's open schooling initiative in Ghana, Botswana, and Zambia. Her final call assignment, evaluating the Commonwealth Open School Association, COMOSA, as a community of practice, shaped the model adopted by other COL initiatives. In true adult education tradition, she pursued her own academic advancement part-time, earning a master's degree, then completing her PhD, while meeting full professional responsibilities, achieving her doctorate shortly before retiring from UNISA. Her contributions to ODL development in Southern Africa are immeasurable. Countless regional distance education students owe her profound gratitude for the opportunities her work made possible. The African proverb, and I quote, "Until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter," unquote, reflects her lifelong dedication, enabling generations of Southern Africans to find their voices, claim their space in higher education, and author their own stories. Her legacy lives on in the institutions she shaped and the lives she empowered to speak, learn, and lead. In recognition of her outstanding contributions to education, lifelong learning, and social justice, I invite COL President and CEO, Professor Peter Scott, to confer the title of Honorary Fellow of the Commonwealth of Learning on Dr. Evelyn Nonyongo.
Thank you. A round of applause for Dr. Evelyn Nonyongo. Okay. Our second award of Honorary Fellow goes to Senator, the Honourable Professor Prakash Persad from Trinidad and Tobago. And I'd like to invite my colleague, Dr. Venkatharaman Balaji, to come to the stage, who will read the citation.
Senator, the Honourable Professor Prakash Persad, is an engineer academic and public servant whose leadership has broadened equitable access to tertiary education and skills in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. He currently serves as Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training. Previously, he was president of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, UTT, bringing long-standing experience as a professor and researcher to national policy and institutional stewardship. Professor Persad has advanced open and flexible learning at system and institutional levels. As UTT president, he directed a rapid pivot to online operations using Canvas and low bandwidth channels to sustain learning continuity for all students and operational choice aligned with inclusive practice in resource-constrained settings. Under his tenure, UTT offered a MOOC in conflict management, extending access beyond enrolled cohorts. Through UTT outreach, he supported competency-based training delivered in both face-to-face and remote formats, including regional engagements such as the Montserrat Electricity Corporation program and community capacity building in Trinidad and Tobago, demonstrating scalable outreach in tertiary education. A pioneer in applied AI and robotics, Professor Persad has linked research, public service, and workforce development. Under a WHO Government of India initiative called HALT, health service robots were deployed to hospitals nationwide with UTT facilitating staff training, an illustration of mission-oriented innovation that also generated authentic learning opportunities in mechatronics and digital systems. In recognition of his distinguished contributions to widening participation in tertiary education through open, online, and flexible modalities, his leadership in industry and community-focused outreach, and his scholarship and public service in support of SDG 4, I invite our President and CEO to confer the title Honorary Fellow of the Commonwealth of Learning on Senator, the Honorable Professor Prakash Persad.
Thank you. A round of applause. Moving on to our third award of the event. This goes to the Honourable Dr. Kaviraj Sharma Sukon from Mauritius, who we are delighted to have with us in the audience. And Dr. Sanjaya Mishra will read his award citation. I'd like to invite them, Sanjaya, to come to the stage, and Dr. Sukon.
Hello, greetings. Honorable Dr. Kaviraj Sharma Sukon has enjoyed a long and distinguished career spanning academia, research, and policy development for the education sector of Mauritius and the African subcontinent. He is an institution builder and a statesman who served as the founder Director General of the Open University of Mauritius until October 10, 2024. Dr. Sukon was elected to the National Assembly of the Republic of Mauritius in November 2024 and was appointed Minister of Tertiary Education, Science and Research. Honorable Dr. Sukon's academic excellence and contributions span a career of over 30 years. Beginning his academic journey as a lecturer in mathematics at the University of Mauritius in 1994, he served several national organizations such as the Mauritius Examination Syndicate and the Human Resource Development Council before joining the Open University of Mauritius. From 2005 to 2012, he served as chairman of the Mauritius College of the AR, which was upgraded as the Open University of Mauritius. Under his strategic leadership, the Open University of Mauritius developed into a dynamic ISO-certified institution and surpassed 13,000 learners, becoming the leading university in Mauritius in student enrollment and achieved full financial independence, a remarkable achievement reflecting his unwavering dedication to innovation and excellence in higher education. Honorable Dr. Sukon has been the second Vice President of the African Council of Distance Education and as the Chairman of the Mauritius Research and Innovation Council. He led the launch of the first Mauritius nano satellite. He has also served many other organizations, including as a member of the board of the Financial Services Institute Limited, chairman of the Mauritius Museums Council, and esteemed tenures at the level of the Senate of the University of Mauritius and the Academic Council of the University of Technology, Mauritius. Dr. Sukon serves as member of the editorial boards of several peer-reviewed journals, including the Journal of Learning for Development, published by Commonwealth of Learning. He is an honorary affiliate at the Imperial College London and a principal fellow of the Higher Education Academy, United Kingdom. Dr. Sukon earned his PhD in computational mathematics in 1996 through a joint program between the University of Mauritius and Loughborough University, UK. He later completed an MBA with distinction from the University of Surrey, UK. His contributions to educational development extend internationally to consulting for prominent organizations such as Association for the Development of Education, UNESCO, ILO, and UNDP. He has prepared the UNESCO National Education Support Strategy for Mauritius in 2010 and the National Employment Policy for Mauritius in 2011. Dr. Sukon has been appointed as the president of the 16th Governance Council of the Non-Aligned Movement Science and Technology Center, representing a group of 47 countries. As a passionate teacher, Dr. Sukon has taught mathematics and statistics and authored several distance education manuals on quantitative research methods, mathematics, and statistics. He has contributed significantly to the revision process of the Commonwealth Executive MBA and MPA program of the Commonwealth of Learning. In recognition of his distinguished career in open, distance, and online learning, and his outstanding contributions to national and international educational developments to increase access and quality of education, I am privileged to invite the President, Professor Peter Scott, to confer the title of Honorary Fellow of the Commonwealth of Learning on Honorable Dr. Kaviraj Sharma Sukon.
Thank you. Another round of applause. Thank you. Our fourth award of Honorary Fellow goes to Professor Ioana Chanmao from Samoa. And I'd like to invite Dr. Tony Mays to come to the stage to read her citation. And although she can't be here with us today, a colleague of hers, Dr. Raylin Esau of Tonga National University, has agreed to accept the award on her behalf. So Tony and Ioana, please come to the stage. Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ioana Chan Mao is Professor of Computing and Computer Education at the National University of Samoa, NUS. She is the country focal point for Samoa for the Commonwealth of Learning and has been pivotal in the integration of technology-enabled learning through research and teaching at NUS. Her research interests are Intel, e-government, IT security, and ICT for development. Professor Chan Mao has led various projects through NUS, many involving collaborations with international teams, including the Samoa American Samoa Microwave Link, Pacific Attitude Survey, Samoa Knowledge Society Initiative, Commonwealth of Learning Technology-Enabled Learning Project, Skills for Work, Pacific Europe Network for Science, Technology and Innovation, the ESD Education Link, PaceNet, SKSI, Skills for Work, and online proctoring. She currently teaches postgraduate courses in the areas of systems management, IC policy and regulation, ICT in education, and risk management. Over the last 3 decades, Professor Chan Mao has made notable contributions to opening higher education in Samoa and in the region. She has published many research papers and is recognized globally with a recent report indicating more than 20,000 readers of her work. As a senior faculty member of the National University of Samoa, she has helped foster the university's extension activities, which have led to many open offerings on a wide range of topics. She has also pioneered open access in the region, besides advancing online learning as a tool to promote flexible learning. Recently, she pioneered the development and testing of an LMS chatbot to reduce the need for university staff to continuously respond to frequently asked questions. And she has also championed the take-up of Pacific Open courses developed by COL as part of the Partnership for ODFL in the Pacific, a multi-year project supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, New Zealand. She has also been an active and influential COL focal point for Samoa, contributing meaningful insights in consultative meetings on emerging issues such as micro-credentials. She has been an abiding partner and well-wisher, advocating for COL in a wide variety of influential regional platforms. Her support for the release of the joint COL and UNESCO report on digital education in the Pacific at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa in 2024 was greatly appreciated. She has also supported COL's work on a very practical level, both reviewing submissions and publishing in COL's Journal of Learning for Development. Among other accolades, Professor Chan Mao has received several Western Samoan government scholarships and is a Foundation Fellow of the Pacific Academy of Sciences. In recognition of her commitment to open education, advocacy of COL's mission of education for sustainable development, and her own standing as a teacher and researcher in computing science, I invite the President and CEO of COL, Professor Peter Scott, to confer the title Honorary Fellow of the Commonwealth of Learning on Professor Ioana Chan Mao.
Thank you again to Dr. Rayleigh Nisau for accepting on her behalf. Thank you. And finally, we move on to our 5th award. Let me get the clicker out of my pocket. And this goes to Professor Mark Brown of New Zealand, and I will read his citation and accept upon his behalf, and I'm delighted to do so. Professor Mark Brown has contributed over 30 years of sustained service to higher education across both hemispheres, with expertise in policy and practice, supporting lifelong learning through blended, online, and digital education models. In 2024, this service was recognised with an honorary doctorate from the Open University of the Netherlands. Moving from his native country of New Zealand to Europe, he was Ireland's first chair in digital learning and the director of the National Observatory for Digital Education at Dublin City University until his retirement in 2025. Before taking up his position in Ireland, Professor Brown was director of the National Centre for Teaching and Learning at Massey University in New Zealand and is a recipient of the New Zealand National Award for Sustained Excellence in Tertiary Teaching. Throughout his career, Professor Brown has been an active researcher, authoring over 125 academic journals and book chapters on education topics. He continues to serve on several journal editorial boards and co-edited a special issue of Digital Education in 2025 on the topic of micro-credentials. In 2021, he led a team undertaking a major state-of-the-art literature review on the growth of micro-credentials for the European Commission. Similarly, in 2021, he produced a global review article on micro-credentials published in COL's Journal of Learning for Development. Professor Brown completed an OECD project investigating different quality assurance models for digital education, and a follow-up OECD study in 2023 explored how quality assurance is being addressed in the context of micro-credentials. His work in quality assurance also includes leading the development of new post-COVID national quality assurance guidelines for blended and online learning programs in Ireland. Professor Brown is known for his contributions to local and regional professional bodies wherever he has worked. He is the past president of the New Zealand Association for Open, Flexible and Distance Learning, served on the executive committee of the Australasian Society for Computers in Learning and Tertiary Education, and was Vice President of the Open and Distance Learning Association of Australia, which publishes the journal Distance Education. In Europe, Professor Brown was Vice President and a member of the Management Board for Eden Digital Learning Europe and is a Senior Eden Fellow. He served on the Supervisory Board of the European Association of Distance Teaching Universities and was a member of the Advisory Board for the US-based Online Learning Consortium's Research Centre for Digital Learning and Leadership. These contributions, along with many others, illustrate his commitment to sustainable development by harnessing the transformative potential of local professional learning communities. In recognition of his distinguished contributions to promoting and supporting online, blended, and digital education through both policy and professional practice, I invite the President, Professor Peter Scott, to confer the title of Honorary Fellow of the Commonwealth of Learning on Professor Mark Brown. Thank you. Thank you. And if we could have one last round of applause for all of our honorary fellows. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for what a wonderful, warm and welcome what has been a wonderful and warm first day. We're moving into our final session, where we are going to hear from Professor Peter Scott and our first keynote speaker as part of the Asa Briggs lecture, which we do every year at the Pan-Commonwealth Forum. So I'm going to hand over to Professor Scott, who will introduce our keynote speaker, after which I'll come back to the stage and explain where the reception this evening will be held. But now my only task is to hand over to Peter, who will give us a warm welcome to our next speaker. Thank you.